Thanks for joining us for the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Good to have you with us once again to talk about what's new in the City of Maple Grove. Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator, with us. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Short meeting to talk about from May 19th. We'll get to some of those highlights and also a lot happening in the city, especially in June, so get your calendars ready to mark down a few dates. That meeting again was 33 minutes long. One item pulled from consent, and that was an item talking about Police Week. Public Works Week. Let's talk about Public Works Week.
Yeah, so this is a recognition for all of our public works crews here in the city. It's National Public Works Week. Just a lot of behind the scenes work that sometimes folks don't really think about, whether it's our utilities, our sewer and water, stormwater, streets, those types of things. Very essential services to make sure everybody can get about their day and live their life here in the city of Maple Grove. And so a lot of gratitude goes out to our public works crews and their recognition this week.
Council member that pulled it said they are the heroes in the city, which we think is true. One other item from consent you wanted to mention, the retirement of someone who's been there since the 80s.
Yeah, we just wanted to call out the retirement of Buzz Weber. He's been with the city since 1989. He started as a paid-on-call firefighter, so this marks 36 years with the city in a variety of roles in the fire department, and Buzz will be retiring here coming up at the end of July, towards the end of July, and so we just really wish Buzz all the best in his retirement and very grateful for his length of service to the fire department.
You bet. All right, one item under special business and a very fun item here. Fire prevention poster contest winner, and yes, they are from Maple Grove.
Yeah, so this is a very fun annual event where we have the fire safety contest poster winner come in, and this year it was Harrison Gross. He's a fourth grader out at Rush Creek. Very talented young artist.
Yes.
I looked at the poster and I was like, wow, that looks like it was professional, very well done. So very fun. He was also then, it was announced that evening that he was the statewide winner, which I think is appropriate given the quality of his artwork. So very fun recognition for this young man. They get lunch with some firefighters, a personal trophy, a traveling trophy for the school to display at the school for 1 year. And then they get $25 from the city of Maple Grove for our contest, and then they get $75 from the state program. I think that sounds like college savings fund money to me. And then they get a ride to school in a fire truck. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of incentive here for kids to participate in this, but I think also, of course, behind it is the fire prevention and the fire education that we do in the schools and in the community. Shannon was there, our fire safety educator, to just talk about the program that we do and all the value it brings to these kids. So very fun annual event to have them before the council.
Congratulations to Harrison. Great job. Community and economic development items. One item here, longest discussion of the meeting, the ridge at Elm Creek. Give us an update on what was discussed.
Yeah, so this is kind of the continuation of development down along Elm Road. We started probably development in this area maybe like 3+ years ago or so. An older area with some large lot, more rural type development that now has transitioned into more suburban type development. Beautiful area, a lot of kind of ridges and geographic, elevation to the area. Very heavily wooded. Most of it is in the T zone, the tree preservation zone. Just to the north of this area is the forest preservation area, which is city-owned land for forest preservation, and so pretty pristine land for development. So it always requires sort of a careful review and a careful touch when it comes to developing in this area. The goal is to preserve as many trees as possible. A lot of reduced disturbance with grading, those types of things, and so it's always kind of challenging when you're plugging into the middle of an area. There's development kind of all around there. And then there's some remaining residents in the area as well that, managing through that in terms of development happening around them. So beautiful development by Ganya. This one, a lot of discussion here just about, wanting to maybe educate residents out there that they do live next to a forest preservation area. Maybe some of the homes back up to that. So it talks about, talking about some signage maybe at the edge that would identify, this is a forest preservation area, and provide some information about, trees can't be cut down, those types of things. And then as well as resident education. So beautiful development that'll come along here when Ganya gets going on it. So that one did get approved.
Next to some staff updates, first from Community and Economic Development. Planning Commission coming up on Monday the 9th. What's on that agenda?
Yeah, so a couple items. The MGM liquor store up Buffa County Road 30, they're going to be doing some expansion, I think, to accommodate a restaurant space up there. And then a new Culver's out at 101 on Bass Lake Road, the market's at Rush Creek. So kind of a nice addition out there in the southwest part of town.
Engineering Public Works, one update item here, talking about the lakes and a survey.
Yeah, so a lot of work done over the winter months with some survey work about, what people value about our lakes, how they use our lakes, issues that they identify that they would wish the city to address. And so that survey work has then come back to our Lake Quality Commission. Pretty big meeting tonight. They're going to be talking about watercraft regulations, which is always a point of interest here in the city in terms of how people enjoy and use our lakes. And a lot of that focus sometimes is around wake boats and, sort of the wake, of course, that they send and the impact on shoreline and other users of the lake, that type of thing. So interestingly enough, we always find that it's kind of a 50-50 on, people who enjoy using a wake boat and people who are concerned about the impacts, that kind of thing. So it's a tough issue because we find that, it's kind of evenly split on both sides of the matter. And there's a lot of lakes in the metro area or around the state that have set regulations. Lake Minnetonka has some pretty strict regulations around that in terms of how far from the shoreline. We don't have real big lakes here in Maple Grove, so that becomes a challenge in terms of if you're trying to go 300 feet from the shore on a lake like Fish Lake, that would pretty much preclude, or leave just a small area for that type of use. So an interesting issue to wrestle with. We're not alone in this. I think Wisconsin has done a lot of work around these regulations and other, mentioned other lakes here in the metro area. So something that will be discussed tonight, a lot of feedback provided. And so if folks are interested, we're taping this the morning of that meeting. So, but a notice was put out, and I think folks that live or use the lakes are probably pretty aware of that discussion. So we'll see what comes from that tonight at the Lake Quality Commission.
Very good. And one final item from the meeting was your report, and it was the legislature watch. And as we record this on Wednesday, we're still watching.
We are still watching. Yeah, things ended without a whole lot getting done. So we're still hanging in the balance. We've got 3 bills that are sitting out there in, moving to conference committee, and hopefully see those come out at the back end here. But yeah, things have to get done. We're looking for, a tax bill, and we had some bonding, kind of a language correction, a technical correction bill. So, not sure what's going to happen with bonding, but hoping maybe that technical correction language bill can get done. And then a transportation bill would be nice. So kind of we'll just stay monitoring here. It sounds like they're going to maybe try to hit Friday, so that would be good to see. But yeah, we'll stay tuned.
More to come on that. And that is your recap of the meeting from the 19th. Now to some other things happening around the city. And again, get your calendar out. A lot going on. The first is Memorial Day, a special event happening in town. Give us some of those details.
Yeah, so Monday, May 26th at 10 a.m. This is an event put on by the Maple Grove Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program and the Osseo Maple Grove American Legion. Just note that the event in the past has been closer to noon, so it's moving up to 10 a.m.
Okay.
So just note that time change. Just a great event put on there by the Legion and the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon program to honor United States service members who've sacrificed their lives for our country. It's at the Veterans Memorial at Central Park, again, 10 a.m. Monday, May 26th. And then I know they have a lunch scheduled over at the Legion following both the Osseo and Maple Grove events. And then just of note, city offices will be closed that Monday in honor of the holiday.
Very good to know. Some construction happening around the city, as you might imagine, a street rehab project that's underway. Where is that and what's going on?
Yeah, so sort of the north end of Main Street and then Lakeview Drive. And if you go by there recently, we're removing some sidewalk and curb sections and preparing for the broader project. Hopefully, well, the plan is to have that work done before Chalk Fest. Right. This rain might help us, not help us a little bit, but hopefully it's going to dry. Looks like it's dry for the week upcoming here. So just know that work is going to be happening now. Will be wrapped up before Chalk Fest, and then we'll wait till after Maple Grove Days to deal with the rest of that project. So.
We'll mention Chalk Fest in a moment, and you can get that on your calendar as well. Kind of funny, the next topic related to water. With all the water we've had, we've got water restrictions coming up now. Just a friendly reminder for residents as it will get hot once again. Yeah,
so this is just part of our ongoing conservation stewardship efforts around water. just having, limitations on prohibiting outdoor watering from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then using the even odd schedule with your house number to the date. So just ask for people's cooperation here. It really helps us manage the demand for water, especially if we get into a drier period, and reduces kind of the use of water in a pretty significant way. And yet what we find is that it really doesn't impact the quality of landscape throughout the city. It's just kind of a more metered approach to that.
Okay.
So ask for everybody's cooperation there to help us manage the demand on water during the summer months.
Another reminder for you, the City Focus newsletter is available and a lot
Yeah.
of good information in there.
Yeah, available on the city's website in a nice flip book style, and then print copies are mailed to all residences and businesses.
Opening soon is the city's photography contest, so get those cameras ready. Give us a reminder about what this is.
Yeah, so the photo contest opens June 1st. It's a great way for residents to showcase their talent and the city of Maple Grove. All details are available on the city website, and you submit photos online, and then we go through a process to judge and select the winners there, and then award those later in the fall. And then, this is a great way. We use all these photos in our publications and our social media posts, so it's just a great way for residents to participate in representing the city.
Great time of the year to be thinking about possibly being a fighter, and there's some recruitment efforts going on. Tell us about their website and some of the efforts they have.
Yeah, so we're recruiting now through July 25th. So we're encouraging folks to go out and take a look at mgfire.info. Attendance at an informational meeting is also encouraged. Just a time to chat with current firefighters. Bring your family. I think joining the fire department is kind of a family commitment, and so you want to make sure you understand what that might mean and that your family's on board. Get a chance to check out the fire station, trucks and gear, and then there is a recruitment line at 494-6092. You can leave any questions there, and somebody will get back to you. And I think it's just important to note, we provide all the training that you need. You kind of come as you are, right? So you don't need to have a background in firefighting or medical care or anything like that. We provide all the training. It's a good road to get, about a year and a half to get all that training on board, but very useful training for even other parts of your life. And so it's a great little part-time job and comes with a great pension. So if you don't have that in your current work life, just something to consider adding in. And I think the fire department's really a lot of great camaraderie and a team spirit there amongst the firefighters at the various fire stations. This year we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Maple Grove Fire Department, so a lot of recognition will be happening throughout this year, and kind of a boost to recruitment as well. So think about that opportunity to serve the community.
mgfire.info. You can find out more there. Let's talk about swimming and getting wet. First is the outdoor pool. Some work underway there to get ready for the season.
Yeah, getting ready for Memorial Day weekend, and it looks like the weather, maybe not super warm swimming weather, but it's going to be warmer than it has been, so that's good. So the pool at the community center open Memorial Day weekend and the first weekend in June from noon to 6, and then starting June 7th, the outdoor pool will be open daily from 10 to 6, and then we're hoping to have that splash pad open again for Memorial Day weekend as well, and those hours are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
Great. Many kids excited about that. Lots of families and people from the community out recently to help plant. Where was the planting? And you want to say a big thank you.
Yeah, so our boulevards all got planted over the last couple weeks here. Just such a beautiful addition to some of our main corridors through town every summer to have those boulevards planted. Really shows off the city and the maintenance there in those corridors. So many thanks go out to the groups that help participate with that. I know Rotary had a couple groups out, and other businesses and organizations.
Great.
Families often sign up to come out and do that and be part of that for the summer months. So thank you to everybody who helped out with that.
Another sign of spring and summer here is the farmers market is outside. Remind us again where that is and what fun is happening there.
Yeah, so every Thursday afternoon from 3 to 7, Church of the Open Door. We have had great weather. I think last week, I think maybe we're into week 3 here of that reopening of the outdoor market. And so great weather. We'll be out there tomorrow night today's Wednesday, so we'll be out there tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Good.
Looks like it's going to be dry, hopefully. So just a reminder, lots of great vendors out there. You can sign up for the Frequent Shopper Club, and then kids also can sign up for the Pop Club, and they get a little free coin there. So lots of great programs with the farmers market as well.
All right, stop by and check it out. All right, here's that June calendar info for you, so get ready for this. The first is Juneteenth, big celebration happening in the city. Give us those details.
Yeah, so it's the annual Juneteenth celebration set for Thursday, June 19th. The event goes from 5 to 9 at Town Green. We have a vendor fair, kids activities, foods and beverages, and lots of entertainment. So this has been a well-attended event in recent years, and so encourage people to check that out.
And we told you we'd talk about Chalk Fest in a little more detail. Here it is. That happens in early June, and this is a favorite not only for Maple Grove but for the region.
Yeah, so really big event that brings a lot of folks to Maple Grove. This is put on by the Maple Grove Business Association. About 50 artists from all over the world coming for this year, and this is the 10th year of Chalk Fest.
Wow.
So celebrating that this year. Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, June 8th. Hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. both days. Lots of fun activities. They've extended kind of to the north end of Main Street, north of Arbor Lakes Parkway as well. So a little more space. It's gotten a little state fairish in there with all the crowds and not a lot of space, you know, with the artists and those types of things. So I think pulling some of those things to the north and some of the kids' activities will create a little more space there for the artists and all the people that come to see. So chalkfestmaplegrove.com for all of those details, but looking forward to that the first week in June.
Yeah, huge event. And now to cap off your June, here's one more event, a summer safety fair. Who's behind this?
Yeah, so the Maple Grove Fire and Police Departments are teaming up for a summer safety fair next month. That is Thursday, June 26th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Fire Station 2 right on Elm Creek Boulevard there, just north of Weaver. Hands-on activities, interactive demos, community exhibitors, emergency vehicles close up, get to kind of check out a fire truck and a cop car, refreshments, just a family-friendly event with lots of safe tips for the summer months.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get there and get to all those events that are happening in June. Heidi, thanks again for all the time today and all of the information. All right, let's leave you with that next council meeting date. It is coming up on June 2nd, 7:30 at the Government Center. You see the website maplegrovemn.gov down at the corner of the screen. That is the place to find out lots of information about what we talked about and also what's coming up in the city. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another City of Maple Grove report.